Hello and welcome back to episode 2 of Mannat something. And today we are reviewing one of the books that I read 2 months ago called Desperately Seeking Shah Rukh by Shrayana Bhattacharya. This is actually part of my 53 books in 53 weeks challenge, and I don't know at this point how many books I've read. Not many. I wouldn't say that I'm anywhere close to actually reading 53 books, but worth a shot. Anyway, so this actually I wanted to read when it came out, which I think is around 2023, but I didn't get around reading it, even though before I tried this challenge and before last year I did sort of still read like 4-5 books in a year, which with my focus span in the past couple of years is quite a lot, to be honest. So that's what I'm actually working on as well, trying to improve my focus span. Anyway, so let's directly discuss what I thought about this book. My first thought after like reading maybe like 100-200 pages was, I'm loving it. Like, I really saw the hype. Like, I always read a Reddit sort of a thread or like Reddit review of any book that I pick up or any book that I want to put on my list as well. And I saw the hype for this book like 3 years later still, and a lot of people were still recommending it. So I was really curious to know, what's it about? And halfway through the book I was like, yeah, okay, makes sense. It's a really fun, engaging book. And if this is the first of this type of book that you're reading, this type meaning the genre of the book being more, I don't know how I would categorize this book, in which genre I would put it, but it was a lot of like okay, let me dial it back a little. If you've read a book that talks about data, and if there's a book that would talk about society, the juxtaposition of this book is like this, but it's right in the middle of it. And I think what she does really well is use someone famous like Shah Rukh Khan to tie it all together, which is what makes this book, I think, a hit among a lot of people. I personally do feel like one of the downers of the book was that the end was a little random for me. I don't know if that is something that everyone who read it felt like, but I have read books that talk about data or that talk about a certain section of the society which end very conclusively. Like, that you're almost reaching the end of the book. That I am not sure I felt with this book. I feel like the plethora of stories that she used, I loved it. Like, I do like reading about different perspectives, etc., but somehow you weren't able to connect it that now it's going to end, and when you reach the ending you were like, oh, okay, and it almost felt like she had to end the book now, is why she ended the book. So that was the biggest downer of the book. I feel like there were small nuances I honestly don't remember anymore because I read this 2 months ago. But on the positive sides, I feel like especially young adults going to college, in school, maybe 11th 12th standard kids must read this book. It is such a great introduction to her research, but also economics. I actually watched a YouTube video of her, Sharanya, with News Laundry on YouTube, where she was saying that a lot of economics academics were saying that this is not a very academic book. Like, you can't categorize this as an academic book, or like it's not very economics in depth. And I feel like that's the whole point of it. Like, if something is too inconvenient or too hard for people to understand, is exactly the issue with like sciences or social sciences like economics, or natural sciences like physics, chemistry, biology. If you make something too hard for people to understand, they're unlikely to pick it up and unlikely to show interest. And that's what exactly she's done with this book. Like, you are at the tip of something with this book. Like, it's just an introduction to the various other books under such a genre, under such writing style. Her writing style is so flowy, so easy to read, and I feel like it gives you a great insight into how you can also write papers and research in a similar way. I think please don't do it for like a PhD or something or even masters. You have to, like, what I mean to say is, like, when you read something like this, it's a great segue into learning how to write research. It can be creative, like obviously this book was for the purpose of masses, and hence it has like Shah Rukh Khan and different aspects of Bollywood, etc. But if you have to write it for research, please be a little more serious and academic with it. Don't root those economics academics, right? Anyway, so this story is based in different geographies of India, which is also very enjoyable because different parts of India show different stories, different people, different socioeconomic status, different religions, different work that they do, and it's slightly in the past. So this book already like came out maybe like 3 years ago, so 2023 or 22, I think, and the data itself is from like 2006 to 18 is what is when the data is ranging from. I think it one good thing about that is that it's very relatable. One, so because you yourself, like I was a young adult, or not a young adult, I was in school and then college between that point, so it a lot of the different events in that timeline I can recall from my own thought because I was present also that time. But also a great insight into how things have changed so drastically from then. That was also really interesting to read. I would absolutely, I think this could be a great book club reading. Great book club reading. I think, especially if college kids have book clubs, this should be one of the picks. And school libraries, please have this book. It's such a good book. And it helps you sort of think about different things and what you would actually also like to pursue, which is very, very fun. I think I have read 2 other books that have sort of similar ideas, like they're along the similar topics. One is called Invisible Woman. I will put it somewhere across the screen. And the other is called Bad Data. So this book is actually a great overlap of both of those books. So one talks about how women have been ignored over history and gives different examples of important inventions that were actually discovered by women, and but most of the most of the acknowledgement of those discoveries goes to men. And Bad Data talks about how you can use data in however way, whichever way you want. Like we say these days, like free will. I think we forget free will can be used in any context, not just like spending a money. You can use data however you want, but how you choose to show that data can lead to different decisions, and of course that's obvious. And how bad data, then literally bad data, will lead to what kind of decisions. And this is a great overlap of those two. I really enjoyed it. Such books, I think, are easy to read. You feel engaged, you feel like you're part of the book and you're just watching it. You can almost, I don't know if that happens with other people, but I can almost imagine it in a movie, like when you're reading such a book. It's super fun. And I think it's extremely smart and very, very crisp, so to say, to add a celebrity like Shah Rukh, because his journey is commendable. Like, and the amount of people that love him, the amount of people that adore him and are inspired by him, amazing. So I feel like using that to connect to people and their independence and how they view life is very smart, and I think that is what is the biggest takeaway of this book. If you don't mind the slightly weak ending, I think you would also enjoy this book very much. It's a great weekend read if you're a fast reader. It's a great monsoon read because it's been raining these days in where I stay. Overall, I would give this book like a good 3 out of 5. Yeah, it is readily available on Amazon. It has both, I think, paperback, as I don't know if it has a hardcover. I just read a Kindle it's available on the Amazon store for Kindle as well. So yeah, if you want to learn something new about India, and I think actually I had noted down like one favorite thing that she mentions in this book, and it is the best quote. I thought it wasn't even a quote actually, it was just she was saying that in the context of someone's, I think, story, or perhaps just in general, I don't recall. It goes, life can often be described as the distance we travel between the people we are and the people we want to be. I think amazing. That really made me stop and think for a minute. And I think I'm gonna leave this video at that, because then we were just gonna keep going in circles. So yeah. See you next time. And I already have the next book that I'm going to talk about, because I've read like a couple of books and I haven't been able to film anything. But yeah, thanks for watching and see you next time.